So you have your lady,
Mm-hmm.
you have your career, you have school, you have your brother, you have your family. How about like a social life with guys your age or anybody, like anything like that? Because I think that's very important for men.
Yeah. Um, I find it hard to make friends. I won't. Okay, I take that back. I find it hard to meet real friends because
Hmm.
it's so easy to make friends. It's so easy to be buddy buddy with somebody, but are they real? And if they're not, I'm not going to keep them by. I'm not going to say hi to a guy who's not actually my friend. You know, he just says hi to me in the hallways. No, I want. We're going to talk, and we're going to be actual friends, and whatever that means, that's whatever it means. And so basically, I have all of four friends, and they're not in the same group either. I have Bailey, it's my mechanic friend.
Yeah, I know
I
Bailey.
have Josh. Uh, he's my employee, but he's also my friend. He's a great guy. I have Kinley. He's kind of like
Hmm.
my advice guy or my
Hmm.
relationship advice guy. He's in the Caribbean right now. He's
Hmm.
getting some paperwork done so he can come back to the United States.
Hey.
Go man. Hope it goes well. Um, and then I have AJ, and he's kind of like my workout friend. And so all are different friends, and they all fill a different role, but no one intertwines. I don't really need a group of people.
Did you strategically pick your friends to be so different? Because I think that is such a important thing that a lot of adult people don't understand until they get older. Having a diverse group of friends keeps you motivated, keeps you
Hmm.
alive.
I
Did
think
you intentionally do that, or you just happen to work out?
I think it just happened to work out. They're the most real people I've seen. Like I have plethora of people who call me a friend, but I don't feel the same towards them. You know, because it's like you're not real. And what I mean by real is, let's say I'm out for a week for no an unknown reason. You know,
Hmm.
they don't see me for a week. Are you gonna text me like, hey, are you alive? Are you gonna check up on me? Are you gonna say anything? Just how do you act toward me? How do you
Hmm.
act around me? How do you act around females when you're around me? That's a great way to see if they're real or not. If they start clowning you in front of females, and it's like, okay, we're just friends because you think you're better than
You're
me.
showing out
Yeah, you're
now.
showing out, and it's like, come on.
Do you find that you run into guys who are jealous?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, absolutely. I don't have a good story or anything, but there are guys who completely try to show me out. There are guys who are like, I have more money than you. I have more things than you. I do have a story. This is a guy named.
Okay.
Okay, he has a 2016 Ford F-150, and he said, my truck can outpull your truck any day, and this, and that. I make more money than you, and no, you don't. Like I know you don't. I'm not gonna tell you don't. I'm just gonna take it because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It comes back to that
Right.
thing. Does it matter? Yes, you're gonna try to show me up, but that just shows how you are a lower quality human.
Correct. Because if you got it, you got it. I don't need to know that you got it. If you got
Mm-hmm.
it, you got it.
Mm-hmm. And all the things you were saying weren't true. And there are a lot of people who I would say seek my advice for girls because I don't care. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter if it's a
you
girl or a guy. I don't care. And so they see that and they're like, how do I not care? And it's like, I can't really tell you how to do that. You just have to do it. You know?
keep busy.
I wouldn't even say keep busy.
No, that's
It's
the way that I do not care. If I keep busy, I don't care. But the moment I like sit down and I think about it and think about it and think about
because you're
it,
thinking about it. You let them get
exactly.
it to you. Why does their opinion matter?
Because
You care how you're seen.
I don't rejection is a
Mm.
it's a heavy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Rejection hurts. Like here I am putting on my best front for you and it's
Yeah.
not good enough.
Yeah.
And after a while, as you get older, something that you know now, you realize just because they reject you, it does not mean that you're not good enough.
Yeah.
It just means you're not for them.
Exactly.
Because somebody else, you're more than enough.
Exactly.
But it takes a little while to get there because there have been times where, it hurts. And you
Mm-hmm.
just think about why are you not calling me? Why are you not
Oh
hanging
yeah.
out with me? Why did you tell me no? Like why did you tell her this? Why did you do that? And then you realize because he's supposed to be with her, not you.
I think what got me here as well is grass cutting, going door to door, knocking. Hey, can I do
Oh
this
yeah.
for you? Hey, the line I use, if you guys want to use it as well, if you guys have any kids at home or you guys want to do it yourself, knock to the door. Hey, I see that grass is a little long. I can get that knocked out for you. Get straight to the point, straight to what you want, and then after that, you can, if they're a little on the run, because I don't know, it's not that long or whatever, you can talk them up. But it gets you straight to the point, and they can tell you no They could close the door in your face, say I'm good or whatever, and you're gone, just like that.
No
In and
need to
out.
stand there and beg them.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then you have that same philosophy with women too.
And it's where it comes from knocking door to door, having so many people being rude or just slamming the door in my face or telling no, whatever. And it's like, okay. Okay.
I, being on social media, see that a lot of younger men. Okay, let me back up a little bit. That mindset was something that men just came with in my world.
Mm-hmm.
They came with that. They were able to walk up to a girl and get rejected. They were
Yeah.
able to be in sales and get rejected. They
Yeah.
were able to do all of these things. I see a lot of younger men. They don't have that.
Yeah.
Like they get distraught
Mhm.
to the point where, are you going to hurt that person or hurt yourself? And I'm assuming that's what's happening with all these mass shootings
yeah.
out here. They can't handle the no's of life, and they come like that. It's
Yeah.
just part of it. And as a man, I hate to say it, you're going to get a lot more no's than a woman.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot more rude no's as well.
Oh, exactly. Men got to be able to take a hit, and if you can't take a hit, you're not going to make it.
I think that comes from a place of vulnerability. They're not able to be vulnerable, and they don't have anybody. And on top of that, they have all these emotions that they built up, and they've been told they can't tell anybody or else you're weak. And I think vulnerability and trauma plays a huge role in that.
So, on my end, and this is just coming from an old generation,
Mm-hmm.
I see actually men are being too emotional.
Hmm.
Because I see, a lot of guys who, when compared to women are getting up and going out there and making it happen and stumbling and falling down. They're raising their kids. They're getting into school. They're getting these jobs. They're getting all these things. And I see guys take one hit and they just want to collapse in their feelings.
I think a lot of guys, yes, do fear rejection, and they fear a lot of stuff. And I think
A lot.
fear is the major factor. Is they don't have any confidence. They're already depressed. They're already sad, and so whatever little thing comes by is like their 13th reason,
Yeah.
And so, as soon as they break out of that bubble and become a little bit more confident, it skyrockets from there.
Do you think money has a lot to do with it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. For me in my relationship, I won't say this is the best approach to it, but it was money over. And I told her that when we first got in there, money is my first priority. Okay, because I can stack. I got something to prove for it. And I guess you could, in the same way with a relationship, spend a lot of time, nurture a great relationship, but what you have for it is a person, and you do need people in your life. But however, is that person really going to stick by you? And that comes from my trust issues. And so for me, money is a great way.
Because money is there. You're in
you can
control
see
of
money.
it.
You can put it in something. It can go to someone. I can get land. That's forever.
Yeah.
Or rather, you can go and cheat on me. You can do this, and that, and it breaks me. And look at me now. I put all this time, this effort, this money into a relationship, and now I'm broken.
Because you can control the money.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great thing.
You could put the money in yourself. You could take the money out versus a person you can't control.
Yeah. I think rich people are rich because they are just able to take their money and invest it. Like they can take out a loan, a $200,000 loan, correct, put it in stocks, get their money back and pay off their loan. They didn't pay nothing.
Because they know to do that.
Exactly. All you have to do is find the knowledge. You have to be willing to look out for the knowledge. You have to know to look out for the knowledge. Like correct. YouTube has literally everything. How do I put a motor in my truck? YouTube. How do I take my transmission out? YouTube. How do I take my drive shaft out? YouTube.
You fix my car? YouTube.
YouTube, hell. Because YouTube it's a great source of knowledge, and it has everything you need. You could go to, I won't say college, but you could go to college online through YouTube.
You could. There are, I saw recently a group of nurses that graduated because they followed a particular nurse online. And I don't think this nurse knew how many people she got through nursing school. It's
insane. It has so much useful information on it. However, you just have to be able to look for it. And on top of that, you have to be able to take a risk. A lot of people are afraid of taking risks. This goes back to even the confidence thing. If you're not willing to take a risk, what are you going to get? Where are you going to get?
I am realizing about myself, I'm still a 9-to-5 girl.
Mm-hmm.
I have an opportunity to not work and just hustle and do different things, but my mind can't help me get there. Mm-hmm. Like I gotta have a gig. I gotta, even if it's part-time, I gotta have a gig. And then when I think about people who are doing what I do now, they they're, you know, doing voice this, they're doing acting here, they're doing extra here,
Mhm.
they're doing, and just the thought of that uncertainty is hard for me.
Yeah, it's the risk versus reward.
It's the risk versus reward, and these folks are happy and they're doing it. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I at least got to work part time.
I think it's because you're conditioned. I think
I'm very conditioned.
school conditions us, work conditions us.
Very.
Our whole life, we're told, yes, you need to work a job, a stable job. You have to have money. You're going to have a house. So this is what you're going to work. And if as long as you get out of that, like me, I don't work a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? On a my whole spring break, I woke up at 9. I worked maybe 3 hours, and I came out of spring break with the extra $1,000.
When you put your head down and go, you go.
Yeah,
Like,
I
there's
go.
no two ways about
But there's
it.
one thing I need. There's one condition. Give me music, because without music, I'm
Oh,
all
yeah,
over
yeah,
the
yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah.
Have to have it. Have to have it.
And that's very important. Music. When I'm at work, I work from home right now, and I have to have music. If not, I can't sit in that goddamn seat
Yeah.
to save my little soul.
Yeah.
So you have school, you have ROTC, you have your business,
Mhm.
you have the movie theater,
Oh no, not the movie theater. Just the Fresh Market.
Fresh Market, mom said.
Yep. Yep.
You have the Fresh Market, you have a lady, and you have your family. You guys.
Yeah.
And then you came and did this.
Yeah.
You're so super
I was welding before this. I was telling you, I had that little lawnmower. I was welding right before this. That's why I was partially of why I was late, because I had to load up the trailer, and then on top of that, traffic was so bad.
Oh
But
yeah, this time of day is
always
really bad.
working. You have time right now. Time is your most valuable asset. You could think, yeah, I have $1 billion. That's not more valuable than your time.
True. You can't get your time back.
Exactly.
Once it's gone, it's gone. You can't
And
get it back.
so I can seize the opportunity right now and always work, always be productive, and that's a good thing.
You're doing it.
And a lot of people like to sit around and rest, you know. As soon as I start sitting around and resting, my body hurts. And it's like, let's go back to working, man. I like this because it's just how it is. I'm hardwired to want to move. I'm hardwired to want to work.
Yes, I had that when I was younger, and now I have to like make myself. Like this morning, I wanted to go to the gym, and I sat in that bed for a good 45
Yeah.
minutes. And I said, mind over matter, mind over matter.
I think another thing for us too is with ADHD or autism, you're basically, when you wake up, you're basically committing to all the tasks in that day. You're not just thinking, oh, I have to wake up. So most people either waking up and it's just a simple, I'm getting out of bed. For us, we're thinking, at least for me, I'm thinking, what am I going to wear? What am I going to eat? What am I going to do when I get to school? How am I going to get this job done? What do I need? And so once you get up, you're committing to every single one of those
And
tasks.
it's overwhelming.
And it's exactly, it's all hitting you at once when you wake up, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Speaking of ADD, that seems to be a very big part of your thought pattern.
Yeah.
And your thought process. Because I have ADD, I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Did you always have this diagnosis? Like, I didn't get my diagnosis until I got older. Like, I'm ADD and I have dyslexia.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get those things until I was like in my 30s. And then
Mhm.
once I got them, I was like, oh, that makes so much damn sense.
Yeah.
I know I can work with myself. I'm not dumb. I'm just I think differently. I got to
Mhm.
process differently. Do you think understanding your diagnosis has been a lifesaver for you?
For sure. I remember early on, my dad would hate that I have so much energy and I could not ever focus. And I didn't know what it was either. And my mom, she was like, well, you have ADD, you have ADHD, and this, and that. And I'm like, no, I don't. And I started seeing things on social media. Hey, if you do this, this, and that, you might have ADD or ADHD, right? And eventually, it was like, okay, this kind of makes sense. Everything is lining up. And so it was a self-diagnosis at first. And then some unfortunate events led me to a mental hospital, right? I talked to a psychiatrist.
I remember that.
And I was talking to him, and I was like, yeah, I have ADHD. I think that's a big part of why I'm depressed right now. And he was like, okay, I do believe you. You are showing every single sign and symptom. However, I cannot diagnose you with that right now because that's not my job. I have to diagnose you to see if you have depression or not. And I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, he is like, yeah, you have to see a different psychiatrist for that. I was like, why can't you do it? He was like, it's not my job right now. And I was like, oh. Well, he confirmed to me that I did have ADHD, but he just could not
write it down.
Exactly. And give me medicine for it. And which even then, if given medicine, I wouldn't take it. I'm not going to suppress myself, you know? I am me. I love myself. Just because I don't form to your societal norms doesn't mean I can't live.
Correct. I correct. I correct. I do think you still got to be able to function. That's the
Oh,
difference.
for sure. Oh, for
That's the
sure.
difference. There are people who will get a diagnosis and think that they don't have to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get to just mess up my life and I get to mess up
Exactly.
everybody's life because of this
Exactly.
diagnosis. When the truth is, you get a diagnosis and it's supposed to help you refine. It's
Exactly.
supposed to help you tighten up ship. Okay, like that's why I did that. Let me see what I can do to counteract.
Yep.
But what I see a lot, especially in the younger generation, they will diagnose to the heavens.
Yeah, I have my left pinky toe syndrome. The I don't know. It's just
Okay.
it's like
So
cool, man.
so what are you gonna do about that?
Right.
Well, that means I can't be on time. I don't understand how that go together. Well, it doesn't mean I get to have a temper tantrum. No, that's not how that
Nah.
works. No, you still got to function in society.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't learn how to handle it now while you're under the umbrella of your parents,
Yep.
baby, when you get out in this world,
That's it.
you're gonna get ran over.
Yeah.
You know, this world is like, you know, the classic New York. If you don't move out the way and figure it out, the truck is gonna run over you.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about you
They
like your
don't.
parents.
They really don't. And even then, eventually, your parents will stop caring. And I won't say they stop caring. I say
You have to grow
you're an
up.
adult. Exactly.
You're gonna have to
grow
adult.
up.
I worked in a dental office, and it was amazing to see attorneys that did not know how to adult. They would leave the office and they would call their parent or whatever, their mom, and the mom would call up there. And the level of, I don't know if it's despair that I would see on these adults that could not function in a world by themselves. Like you could, how do I explain it? You could tell that I want to be able to do this on my own, but I can't, so I have to call my mom because I can't handle it, but I'm slightly embarrassed that I have to call my mom.
Sure.
And I always wondered in my head, like, what was that moment that made you this weak? Because to me, that's a weakness.
Well, it's a great. Yeah, it is. It really. That's a great
What
question.
was that moment? What was that moment where your mom or your dad scooped in and took that hit that would have made you the strong person that you are? Even rejection, like what was that moment that you could have walked up to that girl, said hi to her, she said no, but now you're like, oh, that's it? That's
right.
Matter of fact, like when we were doing race car, we were racing the other day.
I
was so scared of being hit, and I was so scared of flipping over, and then you ran into me. And then I was like, yo, that's it? That's what's gonna happen when you hit me? Oh, after that, I hit the gas. I was ready to go. I thought I was number 3, and I was not.
No,
I was like number 6. But once I took that hit and realized this is not going to flip over, it's not that bad. There's nothing that's really going to happen. Oh, I was in the race then. But there are people that have never had that hit.
No.
Their parents have taken every single hit, and when they get out here, I don't know what to tell you. Don't nobody care about you, sir.
Yeah, no.
Or ma'am.
I think for me, which is just kind of completely unrelated, but I've learned all of my emotions are just chemicals. So I can think, my girlfriend broke up with me. She didn't. Got really close, but we're not going to let that happen because we're just going to communicate, talk, let it happen. But it's just an emotion. So you can really take yourself away from that emotion, away from those chemicals, and think clearly. And if you can do that, you'll get further. Because if I can think, like today, I have no time, right? Her love language is quality time. So that's what she wants, is my time. And so we had a great discussion of, you need to give me more time, or we have to take a break and do this when we're ready.
Right.
And if I were not able to take myself away from my emotion, we probably just would have broken up right there.
Right.
Because if you're not mature enough to be able to change and see through that emotion, then nothing's going to happen.
Tell her this, because this is something I wish I had known when I was dealing with men who had a busy schedule. If she wants the time, then she plans the time.
That is something, because we just set up a calendar because she never knows my calendar. I was like, yeah, we're going to set up a calendar so you can see what I'm doing. And I told her, add yourself a time slot, okay? I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to do it for you. You have to do it, right? And then today, no time slot added. Why did those days go? Why aren't you seeing me? And I'm like, baby, you didn't add your time slot.
You got to add the time.
You have to do it, and I'm not going to do it for you. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I don't always know when you're available. I don't always know when you want to do stuff. And so you have to do that.
And that's something, if you're going to deal with a driven person, I don't care if it's man or woman, you got to add your time slot.
Mm-hmm.
Leave the scheduling of the fun stuff up to you. That's your job.
Sure.
They make the money. They pay for all the bills. You put the schedule together. I
Yeah.
wish I hadn't learned that when I was
Tell me
younger.
when you want to see me. You can't tell me the day of when I already have a job plan for 2 weeks that, yeah, I
Right.
want to see you today. That's not going to happen. Can you plan it someday else? No, I cannot plan this someday else. When another question to ask her, when am I going to do it? If as she's asking me to do it someday else, when?
Yeah.
It's gonna eat into your time, buddy.
Yeah.
So it's what do you want?
And if you actually slack up on everything that you're doing to get ahead and you focus just on her, eventually you're going to end up resenting her. And it's going to be a bigger problem.
Oh, that's a great thing I've learned about is resentment. You
Oh, yeah.
cannot build resentment in relationships. That's the biggest killer is building resentment. You have to communicate no matter how hard it is. You have to tell people what's on your mind.
Correct.
And you can't just tell them you're fat, you're ugly. That's not fair.
Right.
But you have to communicate your feelings.
Correct.
And you have to get
in a way that they can
resentment
understand it.
out. Exactly. This is about business.
That's very
Okay.
nice.
And this applies for every single business. This applies for a grocery store, supply store, everything. And what you're going to do is you look for things that you can improve on. Like their checkout system is bad, or I didn't like how it took them so long to give me this item. And you can always think of ways to improve. And with that thinking, with that mindset, I can look, that pine straw was done really bad, or those bushes need to be trimmed. And you're thinking about that for everything. How can I improve?
And I think that's the key for people who make it and who don't. They always look at a way to improve something.
You have to think of ways to improve, and it helps you. It
Oh my
really
God.
does. Oh my gosh.
Especially
Yeah.
when you have ADD.